What you are about to experience is out of this world. Politics, history, and of course, a lot of entertainment. It's time to rock it with the Docket.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Kyle Dockery with the Dockery Docket. We are here with another fantastic episode of the Dockery Docket. I'm excited to be here, and I hope that you are excited to be here as well. And if you are excited to be here as well, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so then you never miss one of my videos. So, I will be honest with you for a second. I have kind of been ignoring the whole Israel versus Gaza situation, because the situation has just gone from bad to worse. On one side, you have people claiming that Israel is creating a genocide against the people of Gaza. Then we have the other side claiming that Israel is just defending itself. Now, I will stick with the same position that I have had in the past. Israel has a right to defend itself. It's its own country, and if they feel like they are being attacked, then they should be able to fight back. However, I will say that Israel has gone a little bit overboard, and they are now creating enemies for themselves. I would like to use this little analogy if I could. Israel is like the United States girlfriend in high school. Now, stay with me. One day the girlfriend is walking down the halls when she is just randomly punched in the face by one of her biggest bullies. So then she runs up to her boyfriend, the United States, and says, "Hey, that guy hit me over there." And of course the United States is like, "Well, that's wrong and that's terrible and I support you 100% and whatever you need, you got it." So the next day, the girlfriend, Israel, comes in and beats up the bad guy and just pummels him. Then the USA boyfriend thinks, okay, good, she got her revenge, now she will stop. However, she then goes after another classmate and starts beating him up. And soon the whole school is on notice that this girl is on a rampage, and the US boyfriend is thinking, I want to help my girlfriend Israel, but how do I get her to settle down and stop this conflict? I know that analogy is kind of silly, and I hope it makes sense, and it shows just how the situation has unraveled into this whole Middle East hating Israel and the West having to support Israel's situation. But now, sadly, there is a new country that is starting to hate Israel, and that is Iran, which is different than the other smaller Muslim countries like Yemen, Egypt, and Jordan. Iran is a powerhouse in the Middle East. They have guns, they have oil, and they might possibly have nuclear weapons. Now, Israel and Iran have sort of been fighting on and off, but Israel is now mad at Iran because they are funding Hamas, and it was an Iranian-backed militia group that did the attack on October 7th. So Israel thought that now would be a great time to get their revenge, as Israeli warplanes struck a building in Damascus, Syria that was a part of an Iranian embassy complex. According to the New York Times, this attack was among the deadliest attacks in a years-long shadow war between Israel and Iran that has included the assassination of Iranian military leaders and nuclear scientists. This attack ended up killing 3 senior commanders and 4 officers that were overseeing operations in the Middle East. Why would they poke this bear, especially when this attack happened in Syria, which means that Syria might also get mad at Israel as well? Well, they were thinking about October 7th again, as after this airstrike, it was released by a political group that supports Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, claiming that Israel eliminated this man, whose name I can't promote, but he was a major general. This man played a key role in the October 7th attack, so killing him was a chance at revenge. This attack showed that Israel had a willingness to take risks and defend itself, even though there was a chance that Iran could strike back. However, to Iran, this attack was a violation of international law, diplomatic norms, and also against the requirements of the Vienna Convention, and Iran vowed that this attack will have a fierce response. So now we have a situation where there was speculation everywhere. People knew that Iran was going to attack Israel, but they didn't know where Iran was going to strike the Jewish state. US officials had fears that there could be hundreds of drones and dozens of missiles that could be used in a retaliation. If all of those rockets were to hit Israel, the country country would be destroyed. So Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, responded to these rumors, vowed to respond with force to any assault by Iran. Along with that, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower was sent off the coast of Israel to intercept any rockets that Israel might miss with their Iron Dome defense system. Along with that, the United States also moved troops to the Middle East to help out any way that they could. So everyone is getting ready for this attack, and Joe Biden harshly warned Iran against any attack on Israel, as during a press conference, Joe Biden was getting slammed with questions, and one of those questions was, what is your message to Tehran? And this is what Joe Biden said. Take a look at this.
What is your message to Iran in this moment?
Don't.
Don't! That's a perfect response. If only we would have used this in the past. Do you know how many wars we could have prevented? Hey, Great Britain, don't attack us. Hey, Japan, don't attack us. Hey, Hitler, don't attack Poland. Hey, USSR, don't nuke us. Okay, well, that one worked, but that one is just an exception, I guess. But I bet this time it was going to work, and Iran was going to be shaking in their boots from this. And if you want to go back into the past, Joe Biden has also used this little word to threaten Russia, telling them don't use nuclear or chemical weapons. Take a look at this.
I wonder, Mr. President, what you would say to him if he is considering using chemical or tactical nuclear weapons.
Don't.
Well, Russia has only listened to half of that, as they haven't used nuclear weapons, thank goodness, but they have, according to the Ukrainian military, used chemical weapons, so that didn't work. And sadly, this didn't work either, as on Saturday, April 13th, that's right, a day after Joe Biden said don't, Iran launched their attack on Israel. Now, an interesting thing about this attack is that it wasn't fast, as when this attack started, Israeli Defense Forces said that drones were headed to Israel, but they were expected to take several hours to get to their target. Usually in war movies, the rockets are flying super fast and no one has time to respond, but this time they did, as these drones and missiles were almost like airplanes in the sky, moving at a fast pace, but also taking a very long time. And this left Israel with a lot of time to prepare the government's doomsday plane, which holds the prime minister and the cabinet, and take them away to a safe location in case something bad happened. It also gave Israel enough time to intercept the rockets that Iran shot, as according to the New York Post, Israel managed to shoot down 99% of the 300 deadly suicide drones and missiles that Iran launched at the Jewish state on Saturday night using an advanced air defense system known as David's Sling, in addition to an array of other anti-missile capabilities. Israel only experienced a little damage. I believe an airstrip was blown up, and according to the sources that I have right now, there was only one casualty, as a 7-year-old girl was killed from this strike. Now, this is absolutely heartbreaking, but it honestly could have been a whole lot worse. If all 300 of those rockets and drones hit Israel, there would be no Israel. It would have been wiped off the map. And I mean, the videos of Israel's defense system are just so cool, as there are just millions of little explosions in the sky, and thankfully we don't have to watch people getting blown up. Now, this is a great thing, but it doesn't take away from the deeper meaning of what is actually happening. Iran and probably the entire Middle East is still mad at Israel. So even though this strike might not have been as bad as we thought it was, there is still a chance that this could still escalate into something more serious, as Israel has claimed after this attack that the conflict is not over yet and vowed to exact a price for launching all those missiles into Israel. However, the United States and our allies have already told Israel that they are alone on this retaliation. But this could still turn into a full-blown war. Israel could strike again at any moment, even during the recording of this episode. And if they do, it could lead to a bigger war that maybe the United States could get dragged into. And if the United States gets dragged into it, then Russia has already claimed that if that happens, they will join the war on the side of Iran. Then we could see a possibility that China goes into Taiwan, or they also join Russia and Iran. And this has the possibility of going downhill fast, and maybe sparking a world war. Now the question is, could all of this fighting have been avoided? Could we have prevented World War III from happening? Yes, I believe that we could have avoided this conflict, but what we really need at this point is strong leadership. A person that isn't scared to put Iran in their place and tell them to knock it off. But that will have to be discussed in the next episode of the Dockery Docket. So I just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Dockery Docket. And until next time, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.